السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ما بعد، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بشر لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we finished Hidayatun Nahw in the Urdu language, and today inshallah ta'ala we'll start this book in the English language, inshallah ta'ala. So the Urdu one took around 80 videos, around 80 videos, yeah. So maybe English one might take similar ones. By the way, this book, Al-Hidayatu fin Nahw or Hidayat Nahu, this book is very common in our circles like India, Pakistan, and so on. Other countries, yeah, I mean, the Arab countries don't read this book, I guess. They read the Ajrumiya for the standard. That's the standard book. As this book is more in our circles. Should you do this book? Or should you do Ajrumiya? Well, um, it's a choice, literally. I mean, because they both target beginner audiences. Al Hidayatu Finna. But the more grammar books you do, the better it is, because the more you understand the language. Because I know that I understood grammar after reading so many books, right? Because one book I understand some things from that book, and the other books I understand other things. So maybe you can do it. But if you want to do one book, I'd go like do Ajrumiya. Those Ajrumiya is not available in my channel as of now, because I need to teach it once in Urdu, because any book I teach once in Urdu at least for a year or so, and then I have to, because I need to get an idea about the book and so on, to teach it in English. That's what I've done for Hidayatun. Also, I started a long time back, and I finished Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin slowly, and in 1 week or 1 week and 15 days, yeah. 84 videos. I started long back in 2020. It took me 2 years to finish that book. Right? When I started teaching in 2020, I had no idea about this book, because once you start teaching is when you get a whole idea, because you can't remember every word. Even now, I might not remember every word, so I'll keep searching and all that, new words, or because even after you teach, you can't remember everything. So that's the part of learning. So a compilation of rules. This is the only translation I found on the internet of the Hidayat Now book. And this is like an abridged form, not abridged, but they have made several changes, and they've changed up the order and stuff. So what are we going to learn in this? So this is all about grammar. If you know grammar books, Jumia, if you've done grammar book. So Nahw, Kalimah, and its division, they start with the word and then describe everything, then the noun, i'rab of nouns, yeah, nominative, accusative nouns, all the i'rab of different, mansoob nouns and so on. If you did done Madina books, this is a good revision, because after I finished my Madina book, this was my main focus, because this was what people thought, and I found videos easily for this book in Urdu and English also. In English, I think there's only one playlist I found, Al Qalam Institute, I guess. He has some 165 videos. Now, I benefited a lot from that playlist also. And then Urdu too, I've listened to one playlist. So everything, all this, مفهوم مشابه بها إن وأخواتها تنوين and nun emphasis. So this is the book. So preface. Al-Hidayah, as its name suggests, is a guide to the rules of Arabic syntax, sentence grammar. And so there were many books. Hidayah is a foundational book. But it's not that foundational also. I mean, it's not like Madina books, obviously, because this is, grammar book. So, but it has very simple language and stuff. But sometimes it might become a little, tricky in the language. I mean, some things might be something. He goes into various theoretical aspects sometimes, and that is beneficial, inshallah. But what they did, they removed those parts many times in this English version. So who's the author of this book? We don't know, actually. Some we don't know. So Ibn Hayyan Andalusi, some people said of Khahira. Some people said Zubair al-Basri. We don't know who wrote this book. So this shows the importance of having ikhlas for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That even if if your name is not known, your work becomes very famous. And this is what happened with Al-Hidayah. Hidayat now. So this is the book now, which was prepared and which was created. So they've created into 56 lessons, right? So they organized it and all that. So I have the translation. I mean, you can download from the website. I've made a link for this, and this is the thing. So they have first lesson and all that. Then they have sections in it talking about it. So let's begin. Bismillah, the first lesson at Darsul Awwal. So what is this book all about? Al-Muqaddimatu. المقدمة في المبادئ it's a همزة okay في المبادئ التي يجب تقديمها للتوقف المسائل عليها وفيها 3 فصول. المقدمة في المبادئ. In the beginning it is required. So مقدمة this is the beginning. So the author says رحمه الله في المبادئ التي يجب تقديمها, it is required to advance the preface. مبادئ في المبادئ يعني بداية التي يجب تقديمها, it is mandatory that you advance the preface. للتوقف في المسائل عليها, due to dependence of توقف, stopping, مسائل عليها, various issues. So it says introduction is required, right? وفيها 3 فصول. In the preface there are 3 sections. So it says, I mean, it's very important. This is how he begins in this book. I don't know if he really begins with this, like Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, and all that. It's not there, but it just directly begins that. It's important to have an introduction because you have Tawaqquful Masail. You get, okay, what's this book about and all that. It gives you a preface. In this book, if you have Thalathatu Fusul, he divides into 3 sections, Faslun, Fusulun, into 3 sections. Al-Faslul Awwal, section number 1. So this is the Darsul Awwal, lesson number 1, 1.1. Section 1, Ta'rifu ilmin Nahwi, definition of the discipline of Nahw. Because this is a book of Nahw, obviously you need to just define, I mean, what is Nahw? An-Nahw, what is Nahw? Ilmun, it's a knowledge, right? بأصول تعرف بها أحوال أواخر الكلم. So بأصول, it's a principle, asl, principles or foundational knowledge. Asl is a foundation, right? تعرف بها, by which it is known. What is known? أحوال أواخر الكلم, states of أواخر, of the endings of the words. See? So Nahwu talks about the endings of the words, like Muhammadun. Why is it Muhammadun and not Dan or Din? Or why is it Ashhadu Anna Muhammadan? That's what Nahwu is basically focused on. أواخر الكلمة الثلاث من حيث الإعراب. And about this of the are known in 3 parts of speech. من حيث الإعراب, with regard to declension. So some words are declensionable or declensiable, whatever. They decline, and some words will bina'u, and construction, that is fixed. So some words you can see the changing, like Muhammadun, Dan, Din, right? Some words don't change. They're mabni. They're called fixed. And if you've done Madina books, I'd highly recommend do Madina books before you begin Hidayatun now. Because everything is covered in Madina books. Although it's in separate places, this book brings everything together. Although grammar rules, that's where grammar rules help, because they are more, for reviewing purpose, and they bring all the grammar parts together for understanding purpose in a more better way. Wal bina'u, and so i'rab, so a word can be mu'arab. We'll learn later on, that means it'll change. Wal bina'u, it can be mabni. Wa kayfiyatu tarkibi ba'diha ma'a ba'd. So we are learning about singular words, like why is it Muhammadun dan din, and kayfiyatu tarkib, and how do you make tarkib, how do you like construct. Kayfiyya is how do you, ba'diha ma'a ba'd, so some of them with others, a manner of constructing one word with another. So how do you construct these words, like you bring Muhammadun talibun, so how do you do that? Okay, you cannot say talibun Muhammadun, right? You cannot bring talibun first. There's some rules, there's some way to make a sentence. وَالْغَرَضُ مِنْهُ, and the objective, the aim from it is صِيَانَةُ اللِّسَانِ عَنِ الْخَطَأِ. صيانة, صانع يصون is to protect. صيانة مضاف مضاف إليه. صيانة اللسان عن الخطأ is the protection of the tongue. اللفظي, خطأ اللفظي, so from verbal mistake. لفظي, you don't say جاء محمدًا, right? That'll be a mistake, because Muhammadun is fa'il, مرفوع دائما. It's always مرفوع. You have to say جاء محمدٌ. You cannot say جاء محمدًا, and that's what means a mistake. So this is khati, lovely. You should not make mistakes. في كلام العرب, in the speech of Arab. That is in the Arabic language. وموضوعه, and its topics are الكلمة والكلام. So what are we concerned about in Nahw? It's kalima and kalam. Kalima is a word and kalam is a speech. So because we need to tackle one word, and then one word plus one word, you get a sentence, right? You get a whole sentence. So one plus one, or multiple words. So what are the different types of words you can bring, different types of strings, sentences you can bring, right? Nahw's topics are al-kalima, the word, and al-kalam, the speech. And so this is Nahw. So what is Nahw? Is a knowledge by which you know the endings of the word, and you know i'rab, you know bina, mu'adab and mabni, and how to construct tarkib or kayfiyatu tarkibi ba'diha ma'a ba. You'll know how you can construct the words, some of them with the others. وَالْغَرَضُ مِنْهُ صِيَانَةُ اللِّسَانِ, protect the tongue, don't make mistakes, and understanding for us the main goal is understanding the Quran, of course, and understanding Arabic books, and knowing Nahwu properly helps us to protect ourselves from and understanding, comprehending the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-Faslu Thani. So I said there are three fusul, right? This is the second, this is 1.2. Al-Kalimatu Aqsamu. Now this the author goes, rahimahullah, goes into the word and its types. The word and its types. Al-Kalimatu Aqsamu, because it talked about Nahwu. Okay, so now you've got an idea about Nahwu, that we are concerned about the endings and stuff. So what is a word? And obviously the word is a word, but there's some definition for the word. Al-Kalimatu Lavdhun. So any book of grammar, they, even if Ajumia begin or something, they talk about Kalima and Kalam and Kalim and all that. So Kalima. So what is Kalima? It's a Lavdhun wudi'a li ma'nan mufradin. So Kalima is a Lavdhun. It's a love. Loves means something you pronounce, like Zaydun. wudi'a li ma'nan mufradin. It should be for a specific meaning. Right? It's an expression formulated for singular meaning. Wudi'a means it has been placed by the Arabs. Like now I cannot come and bring Dayzun, for example. Like reverse of Zayd is what? Dayzun. It's not a word at all, because the Arabs have not put on a meaning for that word. Zayd is a person's name. So there should be some meaning. If you say Rajulun, there should be some meaning. So wudi'a li ma'nan mufradin. It should be placed for some singular meaning, right? That's a kalima, singular meaning. وَهِيَ مُنْحَصِرَةٌ فِي ثَلَاثَةِ أَقْسَامٍ. So even in a word, there are three types, three parts of speech. It is limited to munhasira. It is in hasara yanhasru form 7. It is restricted in three types. So one, it's a noun, ismin, wa fi'lin, wa harfin. The noun, the word, and a harf, particle. And so these are the three types: ism, fi'l, and harf. Correct? Any word in the language, the scholars have looked and everything. They said everything can come under three categories, three parts of speech. Either it's a ism, it's a noun, it's a verb, or it's a harf. لأنها إما أن لا تدل على. So it gives reason. Why only three? I mean, why not 8 parts of speech or 10? So everything falls onto three. Because لأنها, because إما either أن لا تدل على معنى في نفسها. Right? If the word does not signify a meaning in itself. So one is, there's a word, but it is dependent on other words. So it has no meaning in itself. معنى في نفسها. فهي الحرف. It's called harf. So a particle like min. Generally, we translate min as from, or ila is true, but the meaning could change according to the context. So, it is not indicating Allah tadulla ala manan fi nafsiha. In its own self, there's no specific meaning. You need to look at the context to get the correct meaning. For here, it's called al-harf. So this is like dependent, fillers in the language. Or tadulla ala manan fi nafsi. Or it could indicate, it signifies a meaning in itself, fi nafsiha, in itself. واخترن معناها بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. But it has a meaning and it is attached with معناها, its meaning, بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة, with one of the three tenses. أزمنة, zaman, three tenses of time. So there's a meaning in word and there's tense also in it. So it's a فهي الفعل, it's a verb. For example, ذهب, he went. So it is there a meaning in itself? Yes. Is there a tense with it? Yes, it's past tense. So it's a verb. right? أو تدل على معنى في نفسها ولم يقترن معناها بأحد الأزمنة. أو تدل أدل يدل is to guide or indicate, and or it indicates to a meaning in itself, but it does not attach with any time. بأحد الأزمنة. Or it signifies a meaning itself. It is not associated with one of the three tenses. There's no tense at all. فهي الاسم. فهي الاسم. It is a noun. It is no, like Zaid, a name, Khalid, a Rajul, Rajulun. There's no tense at all. I mean, man was, is, will be. There's no, uh, tense attached to it. So the three types of word. One, only meaning, no tense. That's a noun. Only meaning and a tense. That's a verb. No meaning, no tense. That's a harf. Right? I mean, it has no meaning itself and no tense at all. That's a harf. So only three parts of speech in the language. Al khulasatu. So he gives the khulas of all this, whatever. النحو علم بقواعد كلام العرب من حيث الإعراب والبناء. النحو is science or knowledge, which is قواعد الكلام, rules of كلام العرب, the speech of Arab, من حيث الإعراب والبناء, due to إعراب and بناء. So what is معرب and what is مبني, fixed. وفائدته صيانة اللسان عن الخطأ في الكلام, and its benefit is protection of the tongue from the khata, mistakes في الكلام, in the speech. والكلمة لفظ وضع لمعنى مفرد. And what is kalima? It's a word, it's an utterance which has been placed for a specific meaning, a singular meaning. So I have some questions, you can try it on your own. Asilatun arif ilman nahwi. What define ilman nahu? So you can say nahu is what? النحو علم بأصول تعرف بها أحوال أواخر الكلم الثلاث من حيث الإعراب والبناء وكيفية تركيب بعضها من بعد مع بعض. That's the definition. بين موضوع علم النحو. What are its موضوع? What are its topics in it? وموضوعه موضوع علم النحو الكلمة والكلام. كلمة الكلام. Topics. اذكر فائدة علم النحو، يعني صيانة اللسان عن الخطأ في كلام العرب. What's the benefit of علم النحو? No mistakes. عرف الكلمة وعدد أقسامها. Define كلمة and its types. So الكلمة لفظ وضع لمعنى مفرد. Right? It is a utterance which has a specific meaning. And what are وهي منحصرة في ثلاثة أقسام: اسم وفعل وحرف. Right? اسم فعل حرف. All right, this was the first lesson. So this, like this, we have 56 lessons, but they're not so short. Huh? I mean, every lesson will go on, some lessons will go on, and so on. So Alhamdulillah, this is how the book is. Inshallah, if you find it beneficial, inshallah, please let me know and keep watching. Inshallah, it's very simple, very enjoyable book. I believe I've done it, and I found it very enjoyable for basic Nahw and for understanding simple language. Most of it, not all of it. Inshallah, we can understand this book, inshallah, with time, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallahu khairan, barakallahu fikum. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.